Hey, and welcome to another episode of Ancient Shit, where we discuss whatever's on my mind and I ramble at you. So today I thought that we could talk about the kind of philosophy, I guess, of divination in the ancient Greco-Roman world. So someone that was a seer in the ancient Greco-Roman world would be called a mantike. A mantike comes from the word mania. It was believed to be some form of induced mania to be able to commune with the gods directly. So think like the oracles of Delphi. They were believed to be in a form of mania, which true, because they were huffing the smoke and the incense all through that room, which was believed to be made of things like hellebore and other hallucinogenic type things. Now, divination comes from the Roman word divinatio, which is derived from the Roman word as well, divi, which means to like commune with the gods or like the gods. So yeah, divination would be a commune with the gods using some form of apparatus. So when it comes to divination with the gods, it's again a fine line to decide and decipher which was magical and which wasn't, because people would read signs. Like even like nowadays you'll have people that'll be like, every sign is a sign, and there were people like that in the ancient Greco-Roman world too, where people would have to divine on every single thing that they saw, seeing it as some type of symbol from the gods. Whereas you'll have people that are a bit more chill about the signs and would only see guidance when they sought it. So dreams were really big as well. Dream deciphering was massive. And that's because the closer your soul was to the gods, the more truthful or the more stable, I guess it was believed that the message was. When you're asleep, you are believed, at least in this time, to be close to the gods, to be your soul closer to the gods. And so that's why, like the oracles of Delphi, the Pythias, oracles of Dodoni were considered to be so powerful, is because they were closer to the gods and less detached, more detached from humanity. Does that make sense? So the more detached you are from your humanness, the more accurate the reading or the divination is, because it's that connection of where your soul is. How closely connected are you to your soul, and how influenced is your soul currently being by the world around you. That's why more credence was put into the oracles of Delphi rather than, say, some Joe Blow pulling cards on the side of the road. The more effort was put into it, the more expensive it was, the more detached the said person was from humanity, the more truthful from the gods it was. However, it's interesting because there's certain times where, I guess, average signs, things like seeing a bird or whatever, would be taken to be more impactful and more meaningful than the words of the oracles of Delphi. So say you're at a certain place at a certain time and you see a certain animal. That would be taken as a direct message from the deities, because that's a lot of things to line up. It's the same with us as witches nowadays, or sorcerers nowadays. Like if we're mid-ceremony and we're invoking Hecate and then a dog walks across the road, are we not taking that as like the most impressive sign ever? Or if like a dog comes and just like starts eating an offering that we've left somewhere for Lady Hecate, that would be a huge sign, I think. And it was the same back then. That was like direct contact or direct message from the gods. But yeah, ultimately the oracles of Delphi, because of the extravagance, the journey it takes to go and see them, because of the expense it takes to go and see them, and the exclusivity of them, they were considered like the best for giving messages from the gods. And I love how like even back then there was like stories of prophets and whatnot, the falsities of divination and the frauds and things like that. Like there's plays written about it by like Cicero, and I think Plato even had a couple of philosophical viewpoints on it as well, which I find humorous that even back then the whole spiel about frauds was true. And don't get me wrong, there are fucking frauds everywhere. I just love how that's like an ageless commentary on divination and magic and things like that, necromancy. So back then, because there was a huge emphasis on signs and things like that, divination was a deconstruction of those signs to seek messages and find the hidden oracles within. It would be the liver, reading the liver of a sacrificial animal that you've chosen for as an offering or something like that. Reading the liver, what signs and images do you see in there? And divination would work in a framework as well. So it would have some randomization, but there would be a framework of tools to use typically. So say in the instance of the liver, the animal is the set animal. The randomization would be what symbols appear within the liver. In the instance of tarot, we have the set framework of the tarot system where each card has a meaning, but the randomization comes into what cards are pulled. And it's the randomization within that fixed framework that allows you to personalize a message, or rather allows a message to feel personalized. Because what are the chances of this happening in this exact way based on what I'm going through? That type of feeling. So the randomization is also believed to be the act of the spirits. They're the ones making it appear such a way by the person that's viewing it to be able to relay said message. So I love that it's again comes back down to that law, like that rule of chaos and order, which ultimately is what the universe is built on. You need to have the order, the framework for the chaos to occur in, because chaos without order is just destruction and creation over and over again. So I love that when you break divination down, it goes back to, I guess in my mind, it goes back to the fundamentals of the universe. And I really like that. But anyway, I'm trying a new fringe moment because I'm changing my hairstyle. I'm in the process. I've had a mullet for such a long time and we're changing the mullet vibe. So we're in the process of changing it. So my fringe, you'll just have to put up with me trying different things with it while I grow into it. Okay, bye.